On July 20th, 1969, exactly 59 years ago, Neil Armstrong walked on the moon for the first time. So, how was NASA able to pull this shot? Calm down, let me explain. You see, immediately after the Second World War, the United States and the Soviet Union entered the Cold War era. The both countries entered the space race to show their technological superiority over the other. In October 1957, the Soviet Union launched the first ever satellite into the orbit. This historic move triggered the United States to form NASA in 1958. However, before the formation of NASA in October 1958, the United States launched Explorer 1 satellite into orbit. The Explorer 1 satellite was launched in January 1958 in response to Soviet Union's first satellite in orbit. In 1961, the game of space race changed. You see, the Soviet Union saw that NASA was catching up with their innovation in space. So, they decided to enter the next phase of space exploration, which is to send humans into orbit. On April 12, 1961, the Soviet Union launched Yuri Gagarin as the first human into space. NASA responded quickly by launching Alan Shepard into orbit on May 5, 1961. After both nations have successfully sent humans into orbit, their next goal was the moon. In 1962, President Kennedy convinced the Congress about the need to land humans on the moon. After that, NASA began to build this powerful rocket that later sent the first human to the lunar surface. Von Braun, the German scientist behind the V2 rocket, was appointed by NASA to supervise the construction of the Saturn V rocket. It took NASA less than 6 years to complete this powerful rocket that landed the first humans on the lunar surface. At the completion of this powerful rocket, NASA began the Apollo crewed mission to land humans on the moon. On July 16, 1969, the Saturn V rocket lifted off, carrying the 3 Apollo 11 astronauts. These astronauts include Neil Armstrong, who is the mission commander, Buzz Aldrin, who is the lunar model pilot, and Michael Collins, who is the command module pilot. After flying for about 4 days, the command module arrived at the lunar orbit. At this point, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin entered the lunar lander and commenced their descent towards the lunar surface. However, Michael Collins remained in orbit and captured this picture. So this image you are looking at is the lunar lander descending towards the lunar surface while the Earth is in view. Michael Collins took this historic image from the command module. Few seconds before the lunar lander touched the lunar surface, its autopilot began to experience some issues. So Neil Armstrong manually took over the control and safely landed the lander on the lunar surface. Moments later, Neil Armstrong stepped out of the lunar lander and stepped the first foot on the lunar surface. At this moment, Neil Armstrong made the popular quote, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Buzz Aldrin followed him shortly, becoming the second human to ever walk on the lunar surface. About 650 million people watched this historic moment live from Earth. So after exploring the moon for some hours, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin returned to the lunar orbit to join Michael Collins and commence their journey back to Earth. It took them another 4 days for them to fly from the lunar orbit back to Earth. On July 24, 1969, they splashed down on the ocean. Even though this historic event happened 55 years ago, generations to come will always remember the first move to land humans on the lunar surface. And of course, our next goal will be to land humans on Mars, which might be possible before 2050. Or what do you think about that?